Hey everybody, this is Coach Tara from CoachTara.com, and I'm playing around with YouTube because I was thinking, since I do Facebook Live video and I have one phone and one computer, wouldn't it be cool that when I do Facebook Live videos that I also broadcast live on YouTube, because now they have that feature. However, I think it's going to be a little bit more technical for me to try to figure out how to do that, because I have to download encoding software and stuff as if I was a gamer, you know what I mean, than doing a live stream that way. And that's cool, because that would mean that you guys would have a really awesome stream. However, I'm not so sure if my computer can handle it. To tell you the truth, I just don't know if that would be possible. And, I'd really like to just leave these off sometimes, because I just really would. Oh, look how cute I look. Oh my God, my little makeup, and I got this little crazy sauce thing happening here. What's that? That's just me wiping my face because I'm not used to wearing any makeup. But anyway, so bam. Basically what it did, I couldn't do the encoding software. So what I did was I just went ahead and said, okay, go live with Google Hangouts, because I do understand Google Hangouts, and actually but that's not the same as YouTube Live as far as I'm concerned. But that's all right. Until I can figure out that part, then I will figure out that part. So earlier today, I made a video about spending your time wisely, your free time wisely, and starting to do things that will benefit who you're becoming and who you are, emulating, and what you're becoming in your home-based business. In case you didn't know who I am, if you just stumbled across this and just finding this, my name is Coach Tara, and I am a home-based business network marketing professional. I've been in the business for quite a long time. Let me see. I don't even know the exact date. I did it before when I had a job, and then I quit a job about 4 years ago, and it was 2011, so 5 years ago. I quit my job February 21st, 2011. I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't know how many of you have known me for a while, but I'll give you a quick synopsis. What I was facing in the workplace is that the better I got, the more skills I got, the faster I got, the more efficient I got, the less people wanted to pay me. And I was not used to that kind of thing. I was used to, I show up at a job, I get a job and I go in there and I show them what I got, and immediately getting raises on my first check without even asking for it. I was used to having the full time and becoming, shift leader or manager or whatever right away. That was what I was used to. And it just didn't, the last place I worked at was a corporate job. And it wasn't working out like that. I busted my butt in that place for 3.5 years. There was so much, there are so many videos on this channel that you can go look at and see. And even on my old channel, which is the suggested channel here, where you could see what was happening to me. I was literally at the point where on my way to work, I was crying because I was embarrassed that this is where my life had brought me, for real. By the time I got to my job, I would cry walking into my job. Then I had great deep resentment that I had to be at my job in uniform and not be able to punch in until I was across the entire place. In the meantime, a bunch of people are asking a private citizen for assistance when I wasn't there and getting paid. That used to bother me a lot. And it wouldn't have bothered me a lot if I felt like I was being respected as an employee of the business. And I'm not talking about being respected from, the middle management and the micromanagement levels. No, I was well liked in that area, but from the top down, I just was like, I cried while I worked because I couldn't believe I was there. If I saw anyone I knew and they didn't see me first, I made sure they didn't see me. I was embarrassed to be at that place. And it just got to the point after 3.5 years where I was about to have a nervous breakdown. And I literally was just like, I would get my check and I got paid And it would be like something like, I couldn't even believe it. I used to make that in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I just can't. And they expected me to be happy and feel grateful for it. And I just wasn't there. And mentally, I was about to lose it. And I left that job. And I left before I had established a successful home-based business. I was in one. So I did it the hard way. I put the cart in front of the horse, and I went through all sorts of exciting adventures because of that decision I made. Now, let me tell you right away, I don't regret any of the decisions that I made. I definitely experienced some times that were just like, what is happening? However, it boiled down to this. It was Thanksgiving, about a year after I quit. Yeah, just almost a whole year after I had left my job, or maybe even was the next one. I still couldn't even go to that place I couldn't patronize the place that I went to, that I worked at. And Stella had just been born, and Arsenio was running into the store to get diapers for Stella. And I was sitting there. I saw my old assistant manager that I loved. He was freaking awesome. He was the only person that I just felt like he just really outworked everybody. And if you showed up and brought it with you when you came and gave 120%, like try to even come close to what he was able to do, he would do anything for you. You know what I mean? Like he would make your life as beautiful as possible. And he was outside smoking a cigarette, and I was like, oh man, I miss working with him, because I did miss him. And my mother said, well, why don't you find out if they need any extra help over the holidays? Because the holidays are really busy at this place. It's a public supermarket, in case you all didn't know. And I looked at her and I said, well, first of all, they wouldn't hire me like that. That's not how they work. And second of all, they couldn't pay me. Now, this was coming from a person that literally just experienced an entire year without electricity or running water, had one car repo, and the other one she had to sell because she didn't have food. She had to sell it to eat. Okay. And we were just about to get over the hump. We had just turned the lights back on. We had just, we had already turned the lights back on because Stella was born. So everything got together by the time she came into the world. But man, wasn't making bundles of money. I was still really worried about where the next pay was going to come from. And I was still trying to build my home-based business. And I looked at my mom and I said to her, and I said, they couldn't afford to pay me. And she was like, well, it would be better than nothing. And that's when I understood something very important. Regardless of the maybe ill-advised decision that I made to quit my job before I had at least a steady income in network marketing, I looked at her and I said, obviously, it isn't worth it. It's better than nothing? Obviously not. I took showers out of my in the rain. I filled up buckets and washed outside with buckets. We washed our clothes in buckets with rainwater. We hung out in the garage because the street light across the street gave us light, and we would play cards as a family. We lived on free shakes from the network marketing company I was in. We lived on $2 bags of cheese puffs. And sometimes we got really lucky. We would buy cold chicken. We learned how to cook pasta on a grill using, not using charcoal, but using, what's that stuff? Mulch to light the fire. How much mulch does it take to boil water so that you can make pasta? We went through it. And at that moment when she said that to me, and I said, no, obviously it's not. It's not better than nothing. That's worse than nothing. So earlier today in my Real Talk episode, I talked about what happens, what do you do with your spare time? And I'll tell you what I was doing with my spare time before I quit my job. And maybe I would have been a little bit more prepared for what I was putting myself in, because I did it. I'm happy I did, but I did it. when there was a day off, I came home from work, got drunk. My first day off, I had a hangover. My second day off, I didn't feel like doing anything, but I had to do like the laundry and clean. Okay? When I got home from work, I brought home beer and would sit in front of the webinars I was supposed to be on and do the webinars and all that, and sometimes be in the webinar, sometimes be just watching the webinar, whatever. But in the meantime, I was getting drunk. I was so upset that I couldn't stop putting myself second in my life. I still thought of having a good time was going out. And I can't tell you that going out isn't a good time. It damn well is. I proved it for over 10 years of my life. That shit was fun. But the thing is that even though I was ready in my heart to move on, I wasn't ready everywhere else. I wasn't really stepping into whom I wanted to be. Now, if I had quit my job and was already in the place in my mind that I needed to be, and immediately started making, even if I didn't make those right decisions until the moment I left, I would have moved along a lot faster. In these videos and the Real Talk episodes, you are going to get me at my rawest, at my realest, and no, I haven't made $1 million yet. But I will. I'm going to get rich, and I'm going to take as many people with me as I can. Okay? That's the fact. I didn't have success for so long. I struggled with so long. I stayed in that company with the free shakes for so long, even when I realized that the products were destroying my body. Because I believed and I wanted to stay, and I didn't want to be a company jumper, and I didn't want to. And when it came to a point where, and it was just this and it was that, and then I finally found a company that I totally got it, and I totally felt it, and I started making money. And one of the owners went fucking batshit. I guess he was a total scammer, and it started to show, and the company fell apart. There's so much that goes on inside the home-based business that if you're not doing what you should be doing for yourself and for the betterment of yourself on your free time, it will take you a really long time to make this work. So what am I saying? It's kind of like when you change your lifestyle with food, and you start to think about, when you start to, like, for me, like right now, like I like freak out over carrots and hummus, which is awesome, because even if I destroyed a hummus and destroyed a bag of carrots, I would still be in the right. You know what I'm saying? Like how we start to change our cravings for things. You know, I love cheeseburgers, but man, I better have them on greens. So what I'm saying is that we've got to kind of change the flavor of what we consider a good time if we want to see some real difference in our life. Because you know what you think a good time is? Probably, I know I do, is going on vacations, maybe barefoot cruises on a schooner with your feet hanging over the side and one of those nets with the sun beating down on you, going through the British Virgin Islands. Maybe even having a good time would be stopping at Neckers Island and being able to rent one of the fucking rooms there. Maybe a good time is being able to hang out with your friends, and everybody's thinking and putting their thoughts together, and we're moving and shaking, and you wake up the next day and you remember what happened. Maybe really what a good time is sitting down with a nice book. Maybe it's time for you to start thinking about what your priorities really are. Now, I'm not beating you up, and I'm not even going to say that I don't drink anymore, because I do. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't go out with your friends and have fun and tie one on once in a while. Trust me, I can't even say that to you. But what I can say to you is, if you're a home-based business professional and you're looking to quit that job and you're looking to go completely pro in this industry, you need to reevaluate what you think a good time is and how you spend your free time. You need to reevaluate that. You really, really do. Because if you spend majority of your free time in a state of intoxication, where you're running away from the truth in your mind and your life, if you aren't ready to invest in yourself, both with your blood, sweat, and tears, but with your money as well. Buy a product to learn from someone, or hire a coach. If you're running to your next rank and it's just not coming together for you, and you just need to put it together, pay someone to help you stay on track. So many people out there just don't get it. And that's a really big deal. In this industry, you are going to spend 3 times as much money than you thought, and it's going to take you 3 times as long as you thought it would, if not 10 times or 10 times. And the longer it takes you can be immediately judged by how much money and time you invest. So if you join a network marketing company and say you came in with the $500 package, most of them, I would say, have a $500 and $1,000 package. And then you have your $100 auto ship around there, $150 auto ship. That tends to be the norm. It could be different for yours. I know my MLM is different than that. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a product-based MLM that's different than that. It just doesn't, it's not what it is. But if that's all you spend on your personal development, your business development, on running your business, if all you spend is that initial investment and your monthly auto ship, and you think that it's going to work out, I'm telling you, you have a hobby. You're going to get hungry before you should. And I'm not talking about the kind of hunger that keeps you motivated. I'm talking about the kind of hunger that demoralizes your mind. Do you know how hard it is to make a good decision when your stomach is grumbling? Some of you out there do. Some of you out there understand what it means to make choices about what you eat because you're broke. That's a very difficult place to try to build a business from. You don't need to be there. You don't need to be there. The faster that you know that you need to go pro, and while you still have that job, use that job as an asset for your business. I did another real talk about it. Use that job as an asset for your business. If it means you got to stretch your payments out a little bit more, if it means you got to put delays on bills or whatever like that to make sure that that business builds up as quickly as you can. And every single waking moment that you have away from your job, on the car home, you're not listening to rock and roll and you're not dreaming about happy hour. On the car home, you've got Ray Higdon, Tony Robbins, you've got somebody plugged into your radio. So you're listening to empowerment. And when you get home, you take care of yourself. You take care of your body. You feed yourself nourishing food. You drink yourself some water. You take a nice long bath. You sit down with a good book. You get on that webinar you're supposed to get on. You get into the Facebook chat and you start talking to people that you're following up with. You start planning your time off instead of your time off planning you. That, my friends, is going to make a lot of difference. You'll be able to leave that job way faster than you thought, even if you're not making all the money that you thought you needed to make in order to quit that job, because sometimes there's going to become a time where you're not going to be able to walk through the door of the place anymore, and you're going to have to make a decision. Wouldn't it be better to be prepared for that decision that you make? So, that being said, I just want to let you all know that I believe in you. I love you all very much, and it's going to take time. Some people, it takes a long time. Some people, it doesn't take that much time at all. You know, for me, I would say I'm a medium growth. At this point, I'm like a medium growth. I make money. I'm in profit. I'm not rich. I don't own it. I have never been able to replace that repoed car yet, or the awesome truck that I had to sell because we were hungry. That's okay. I know that there's something really big in store for me. And I'm not going to quit because I have hard times, because I don't recruit as many people as I want to, or things aren't always perfect. No, but what I will do no matter what, is I will treat myself like a professional network marketer. And I'll treat my body good. And I will choose a book over booze any day so that I can be who I'm supposed to be. Because when the levee breaks, my friends, if you're not prepared here and here for the cash flow that's coming into your life, because you are here to be prosperous, if you're not ready here and you're not ready here and it shows up, you will go broke faster than you went rich. That's just the way of the world, my friends. You've got to be in alignment. You've got to be willing to meditate. You've got to be willing to visualize. You've got to be willing to make vision boards. You've got to be willing to think about things that other people don't think about out there in the world. They just don't even think about it. Their minds are in such a different place than yours. Some people you won't even be able to have a conversation with because you'd be like, really? Really? Like, what? You know, it's amazing how many people, normal, everyday, good people, reach for the negative thought way before they ever talk about anything that's good. They'll notice the bad thing before they'll ever be able to nurture the good thing that happened. Those kind of people, you are not the same anymore. You are growing away from that. Doesn't mean you got to fucking shut the door on everybody. No, it just means that you have to know when to say when. And you have to take responsibility for your life. And you have to nurture yourself. Because this business, this home-based business, this network marketing stuff, this is probably why so many people think it's a scam, because nobody believes that this could be true. It is personal development that you get paid to do. The best of the best, that's how they roll. That's how they roll. You do not see the best of the best just destroyed. You just don't. So, you're the best of the best. You're ready to be the best of the best. You're awfully good looking too, guys. I mean, my gosh, you are some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen before in my life. I can't see anybody, but I figured you'd like to hear that because I'm feeling really pretty today. And so start scheduling your time off. Start making what you do in your time off a priority, and start changing the flavor of what you think is fun, so that you can start to really have fun. Because I tell you what, I look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world, and I hope that neither one of us are too drunk to remember it. I love you all very much. This is Coach Tara with the first live Real Talk. Impromptu. I've done Real Talk webinars, but this is impromptu. Nobody got invited. I just went live. And I love you all very much. If you are looking for something to do this weekend, I'm going to reiterate what I talked about in today's Real Talk. Go to my blog, CoachTara.com. Up at the top, there's a tab that says On the House Marketing Training, and there's one that says Marketing Training for Professionals. Pick a tab, go to both tabs, look around, check it out. One side is paid, one side is free training. If you can't find something that you're looking for, all you got to do is get in touch with me. Get in touch with me on Facebook, Coach Tara, at Coach Tara. That's my freaking Facebook page. You can message me there. If you're friends with me on Facebook, shoot me a message. Tell me what you want to learn about. And if I can't teach it to you, I'm going to find somebody that can, and I'm going to go ahead and let you get your hands on that information. Okay? So with that being said, I love you all a long time. This is Coach Tara coming to you from Holiday, Florida on a Friday night, drinking coffee. That's right, because I'm awesome. See you later. Bye.